Assalamualaikum. My name is Mazarina Zafira binti Mazman. Number matrix is 2008266.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Christina binti Aizam Shamsul. My matrix number is 207990.
Hello everyone, my name is Nurul Hanani binti Ibrahim. My matrix number is 206187.
Hello everyone, my name is Amira Nadia binti Abdul Halim. My matrix number is 205884.
Hello everyone, my name is Sharina Atilia binti Shamsuddin. My matrix number is 207429. Okay, we start now, okay? Assalamualaikum and good evening to all. Tonight we will be discussing our topic, which is human rights. So, human rights are the basic right and freedom that belong to every person in the world, from birth until death. They apply regardless of where you are from, what you are believed, or how you choose to live your life. They can never be taken away, although they can sometimes be restricted. These basic rights are based on shared values like dignity, fairness, equality, respect, and independence. These values are defined and protected by law. Human rights are relevant to all of us, not just those who face repression or mistreatment. They protect you in many areas of your day-to-day life. So let's begin our first discussion.
Okay. As claimed by the coordinator of Smoke Free Malaysia Initiative, Muhammad Shani Abdullah, said that rights which when implemented will not violate the right of others. So however, when a person smokes in public, he is actually violating the basic rights of others by exposing them to various health hazards. So as you can see, cigarette smoke contains some 4,000 chemical like tar that used to make roads, ammonia that used in making floor clearing solvent, and naphthalamine that used to make mothball that actually harm not only the smoker but the non-smoker around them as well. So I think so if the smoker think that that ban smoking in public eateries are actually a mistreatment, I think it's very irrelevant because smokers need to respect policies that protect public health, such as smoking prohibition in public places. So I think therefore it makes sense that all restaurant and public eateries are listed as no smoking zones. Yeah, I think that's all. Maybe we could proceed to Sarah Christina for the second point.
Thank you, Mazarina. I would like to share my opinion regarding this topic. I am standing on the same side with Mazarina, which is to disagree that the banning of smoking in eateries can be seen as a form of mistreatment on people's right and freedom to smoke. So my first point of view is that the non-smokers have the right to breathe the fresh quality air that God has given to us. Same to as what Maza said, when a person smokes in public, he is actually violating the basic rights of others by exposing them to various health hazards. When we are talking about right and freedom, we need to consider both parties, which are the smokers and also the non-smokers. It goes without saying that the cigarettes is dangerous to the smokers, but the non-smokers who happen to be around also experience the same risk as the smokers themselves. For instance, a smoker who lights up a cigarette in eateries, while there are many other people that does not smoke, where are their right to eat in peace without having to breathe the harmful smokes from the smokers themselves? So for me, it is not fair to say that the banning of smoking in eateries is a form of mistreatment on people's right and freedom when the non-smokers themselves also have the right to breathe a clean and fresh air. Does anybody else has anything to add regarding our discussion today? Sharina, you are muted.
sorry. So for me, here's the thing: if you ban something because it poses risk to everyone, health, both intentionally or unintentionally, direct and indirect, you will have to ban a lot of things as well. Smoking can be banned in the public spaces, and this practice has been implemented in lots of places by many people. As I recall, there are lots of public spaces that ban smoking outright. Even in hotels, you can smoke in your own room, except in the bathroom. In the US, it most likely because first, the tobacco industry is one of industry which produce big income for the nation. If the government decide to do so, there are lots of businessmen which would file a complaint. Second, the number of consumers is just way too high. Third, the government must find a decision which must cater to both sides of the problem. In this case, the people who like to smoke and the people who don't. If the government decide to just simply make a decision that favors one side, trust me, there will be lots of troubles, even though it's for the sake of public health. So how does the government solve it? By implementing limits instead of complete prohibition. I agree with Sarah's point of view, which that's all for me for now.
Okay, I want to share my opinion. In my opinion, I disagree with the ban can be seen as a form of mistreatment on people's right and freedom, since this is the way to prevent smokers from developing variety of health problems such as lung cancer and death. I completely agree with Maza's point, which is secondhand smokers could increase their risk of smoking-related disease. And I think that people can still smoke, but not in the restaurant or public places, because it can involve others to get the disease, especially people with asthma, kids, and also pregnancy mom. And I believe that humans do have rights and freedom, but they need to think about the people around them. Do not be selfish, because smoking can affect others and actually it can lead to death. That's all for me. Amira, would you share your opinion with us?
Sorry,
Okay.
before that, can I interrupt? I would like
Okay.
to add something. I totally agree with Hanani, because smoking can involve others to get disease, especially with, people with asthma, and it could lead to death. Actually, I have read news about this one citizen complaining about secondhand smoke, and he said that I have friends, ladies that who are in the 80s, who have been inhaling the secondhand smoke for like 50 years or maybe 60 years, but they're still alive. But as claimed by the National Cancer Society, points to study that show secondhand smoke is very unhealthy, because the non-smoker who are exposed to secondhand smoke in public eateries could increase their risk of smoking-related diseases by 20 to 30%. So what I'm trying to say here is, it may be the choice of the smoker to smoke, but it's not someone else's choice to be exposed to secondhand smoke. So yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Amira can proceed.
Okay. In this statement, I actually agree with Sarah, Maza, and Hanani, because the idea of smoking is not affected to someone else. So someone else will not be affected by the disease that will be carried out by smokers who are smoking either cigarettes or e-cigarettes without their consent. By that, I disagree with the statement that banning smoking is seen as a form of mistreatment on people's right and freedom. Also, cigarette smoking is the most common form of tobacco used worldwide. So tobacco is some addiction drugs that is used in leading cause of preventable disease, disability, and death. So on overall, on data that shows in National Health 2015, 8.09 million Malaysian adults age of 15 years and above were exposed to secondhand smoke at home, significantly higher among men and without formal education among non-smokers. The prevalence of exposure to second-hand smoke was 4.36 million higher among females. So the strategies by the government in banning smokers is by having some kind of unit, which is the National Strategic Plan on Tobacco Control 2015-2020. The program is approach-friendly. The key is to do a program that is target the youth or females to prevent from becoming a second-hand smoke. That's all. Does any of you guys want to add something?
Yes, I want to add something. From my point of view, most of the smokers agree that the smoking ban in restaurants and eateries have reduced their daily smoking frequency and aspire them to quit. So that I believe smoking ban is not a mistreatment people. And I also believe that banning of smoking in eateries are not a form of mistreatment because human rights is actually involve all of the people, but not everyone makes smoking as their lifestyle. That's all from me. Does anyone have to add something?
I think I would like to add another point, which is which on why I think that the banning of smoking in eateries is not a form of mistreatment, because there are many other places that are far from people, especially the eateries where there are children, elderly, and other people with health problems, just like Hanani said. Smokers could walk a little far away from the eateries to light up a cigarette, so that they will not put a risk on other people's health. For example, in our country, the Ministry of Health has banned smoking in eateries on the 1st January 2019. However, the smokers are allowed to carry out their habit at least 3 meters away from the eateries so that they are not violating other people's rights. Just like what Sharina said, but the government by implementing limits instead of complete prohibition. The government does not prohibit smokers to smoke, but the smokers can still smoke, but they only need to move a bit far away from other people, which makes a big sense that it is important not to bring other people's health in risk. So basically, that is all from me. How about the others?
I agree with Sarah's points of view, which she said that MOH has been banning smoking in the trees on 1 January 2019. However, the smoker are allowed to carry out their habit at least 3 meters away from the eateries, unlike the old days. So I could safely say that you are supposed to smoke somewhere where cigarettes are low. I admit that what they say on smoking is not healthy, but to answer the topic we are discussing tonight, what about breathing vehicle exhaust fumes violates the right of other people's life because it also decreasing the lifespan and health. So should the government ban that as well? That's all for me.
If you guys doesn't have any point to add, shall we stop here? Okay, from that, From that, I would like to make a conclusion. In conclusion, I believe that most of us disagree that banning of eateries is violating the right of people and is seen as a form of mistreatment on people's right and freedom. Just like others said, from smoking, people can involve others to get disease, especially people with asthma, and also could lead to death. By that, smokers could walk away if they want to smoke in public. So maybe walk a little far from the trees to light up a cigarette or far from others. Other than that, the prevalence of missing cigarette product of point of sale is rising. Therefore, a policy towards ban at the point of sale would be ideal with the focused tobacco control strategies. From what I said earlier, the prevalence of smoking in Malaysia can be reduced further to achieve a true smoke-free Malaysian generation in the future. I think we can end our discussion today. Thank you for your guys' participation in this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
for your
everyone.
time.
Thank you.